Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I hope you guys are absolutely ready to get this day started. I know I am. I woke up in a good mood this morning. I done had laughs and fun already this morning. Excuse me. Rosie, you want to say good morning? Rosie didn't want to be on camera with me this morning because she still felt like she wanted to be asleep. You want to say good morning? Sitting here. Thank you. See your whole face, Rosie. It's so hard being 14. Good morning. You hear that? Good morning, don't you? Good morning. Like I just got up. Whatever.
Jojo, leave that baby alone now.
What?
Always messing with her every day.
No, ain't no seed Lynn. Don't start.
Every day.
Honey, that baby get together.
All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. And thank you so much for joining us this morning, guys, for the Fearless Morning Show. I know I'm a day late and $1 short, but y'all, I saw so many of those funny memes on the internet after the Trump text went out. And I didn't know if y'all saw it or not, but that was hilarious to me.
That was
so
not
funny. It was so funny. I was picking my little one up from school. Of course, he's in elementary school, so they get out of school at 2:10. And we're getting in the car, and all of a sudden, my phone is going off. And he's like, "Mommy, what's that? What's going on?" I was like, "Buddy, it's all right. It's just Trump." He said, "Oh." He got in the car.
Like, that's not important.
Right. Anyway, y'all, like I said, Big Brother's always watching, whether you want him to or not, okay?
That's
anyway,
right.
I wanted to go back and talk about some of the things, reiterate some of the things we talked about yesterday, because I did get a question, and I thought, okay, so it behooves me responding to this question today. I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yeah, I said it, America's #1. Yesterday, we talked about your credit and how to improve your credit, how to get that perfect credit score. And one of the things that I shared, of course, well, there were several things that I shared, but the thing that I received a question about was being added as an authorized user to someone else's card. So let me backtrack just quickly for a second. Being added as an authorized user on someone's card is very helpful for you to improve your credit score. If there's someone that you trust, they have had that credit account for a long period of time, and the longer the period of time, the better for you, and they have a high, available credit limit on that card, all right? So let's say they have a $20,000 credit card, and they do not use it that often, and you know that this person pays the credit card off every month, or they don't use it. They use maybe $1,000 out of that $20,000 that's available to them. And you ask them, hey, good morning, Carl. Thank you for joining us as well. You can ask them, hey, can you add me onto that card? So the question that I received was, so how do I go about doing that? You mentioned that we can do that. It's really simple. The hardest part is to find that person who is going to say yes, okay? But once you get to your yes, you might have a couple of no's before you get to your yes, but it takes education. It takes them being informed about the fact that even if they know, they'd be like, oh, baby, you don't do too good with your credit. What you have to be able to share with them, the information that you have to share with them is the fact that, hey, this doesn't impact you negatively. None of that information transfers over. There's no impact for you. All you're doing is helping to support me, and I have more credit available to me. And by having more credit available to me, that increases my credit usage, my credit utilization, which is 30% of the credit score. So getting that authorized user, so what do? All they have to do is call Visa or American Express or whomever it is, call that company and say that they would like to add an authorized user on their account. It takes less than 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. This can be done today. The other thing that's most important that must happen, make sure that you provide your social security number to that person that's calling Visa or MasterCard or American Express, because if they don't report with your social security number, then it's not going to help your credit. So if they just add you, then chances are, if they add you without a social security number, then it's going to not, more than likely, not report to the credit reporting bureaus. All right. So make sure, that they have an established account. Try to, follow up and say, hey, have you had it for more than 5 years at least? 5 years is not a long time when it talks to the length of time that you've had a credit account open, but it can be at least 5 years. Set that up as your bare bones minimum. But what I wanted to add for you today, so I thought I needed to go back and just share that because I did receive that question, and that was probably from someone who was newer to the credit game. But I wanted to go over what really affects your credit score, because in actuality, the title of this should be, It's Not Your Money. And that's the beauty of it. We talk about leveraging other people's money. If you get your credit game up, right, this is the opportunity now for you to leverage other people's money so that you can now invest and build wealth. That's what I'm teaching you to do today. You have to be able to get to that point so you can do that. So what affects your credit the most? And this is something that they never, well, I don't know about you, but in my economics class, whether it was in high school or college, did not teach us about credit reports or credit scores and credit utilization. Yeah, they taught us about the stocks, right? They taught us about the stock, and even in high school, and my husband and I were having this conversation the other day. Back in the day, in high school, we had to use the newspaper and try to go through and read the stocks. And I remember that being just the most frustrating experience for me as an individual in high school because I wasn't ready. I just was not ready for that stock market conversation in high school. Now, down the road, I was like, man, I wish I had listened to Coach O'Rear. I don't know if any of y'all remember Coach O'Rear. Y'all probably not. I don't see anyone on here from Lawrence District 55 High School. Yep, that's the Lawrence Raiders shouting them out. But anyway, y'all, I wasn't ready at that time. So what I wanted to share with you, what are some of these things, right, that need to be added to the economics class that they did not teach us? So what affects your credit score? I've already told you the top two things. We talked about credit utilization really affects your credit score. I say that's the number one thing. And then, of course, your payment history. Those are going to be very high on the credit utilization. Good morning, Kimberly. The other thing, guys, that is going to impact your credit score are those derogatory marks. If there are any derogatory marks that are on your credit report, whether it's collections, closed accounts, you name it, those are the things that I highly suggest and recommend that you work on today and start working on those to get those removed. Why? Because that has a high impact on your credit score. You say, well, Lynn, how do I do that? How do I go about changing that? Well, let me give you a couple of tips and strategies, things you can do today to help boost your credit score. And it's going to be related in these areas: credit utilization, payment history, and derogatory marks. So we'll take derogatory marks later. But what I need to suggest or recommend to you, and I'm telling you what I know, guys, a suggestion to help boost your credit score today, something you can do today, is to call your creditors, okay? Call those credit card companies that you have, and you either ask for an interest rate decrease or you ask for a credit line increase, all right? Oh, y'all. Here come little Stitch. They out of school this week for fall break, so I had to Go back in there, buddy. Mom, be up shortly. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah. The things we do for the little ones. Yes.
Yep.
All right. So in looking at this, guys, make sure you call those credit card companies and you ask them to either increase your limits or to decrease your interest rates. And you do that every 6 months. Why? That helps you to improve your credit. You're like, well, Lynn, that's the long game. Yeah, it is a long game, but I'm giving you tactics and strategies, things that are practical that you can do over time, right? And I'll be able to spend more time when I teach this class. Yep, that's right, Charlene. When I teach this class on Sunday and share that with you guys. But I'm giving you some things you can go ahead and start doing now so you can start working on your situations, right? Start working on that. You can also, as far as those derogatory marks, okay, as far as any derogatory marks on your credit, guys, there are some things that you can do. And a lot of people will not just tell you this unless you're paying them. So I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. I don't know if you've heard of the 609 Fair Credit Reporting Act. I think I said that correctly. The 609 Fair Credit Reporting Act basically says that you have the right to dispute all negative accounts that are on your credit report, whether they're delinquent accounts or what have you. You write a letter, and in that letter, you have the right to ask them whether or not they can legally, right, report your information. And what the 609 Fair Credit Reporting Act basically says, guys, is that they have to have your signature, right? They have to have a signed document with your signature on it that they have to keep on file that says that they have the right to report that on you. And if they do not have the right to report it, then all you have to do is submit these letters to them. They have 30 days, okay? They have 30 days to respond to you. So make sure you're sending out certified letters, okay? For these dispute letters that you're sending to these companies. They have 30 days to respond to you. Most of them will get it done, and you can possibly get it done in 30 days. However, when we went through this process, sometimes it took us going through 4 rounds of sending these letters through. So every 30 days for 4 months, we sent this letter. We sent the certified letter to these creditors and asked them, and a lot of those were removed. Yep, that's right. That's right. Some of them will remove those 30 days late payments. Yes. Yeah, if you're not a habitual late payer, right? They'll forgive those, right? You write a goodwill letter or you call them up. Sometimes it'll happen with a phone call. But oftentimes you will have to write a letter to them to be able to see that happen. But yeah, yes, some creditors will definitely remove that. And that's another way to improve your credit. See, guys, we have to be vigilant on top of this. This is just the same way as staying on top of your, your investing accounts. You stay on top of your credit. Make sure you're pulling those credit reports. We're giving you simple things you can do, guys, every day to make sure that I hate to be borrowing from what everyone else is saying. I hate to be cliche with what's going on right now, but you're living your best life. Yeah, I said it. Right? You're living your best life. So make sure that you take these simple tips and tricks, guys, and go ahead and do what you need to do, improve your credit score. Because in order to invest with confidence, good morning, Minister Valerie. Thank you for joining. Access to credit is going to get you to your next level. So definitely reminding you guys that I will be doing the full course Sunday night at 8 o'clock on my Facebook business page, Financial Solutions. If you type in Financial Solutions, you'll see my business page. Over there, I'll be sharing a full course So make sure you invite those folks. You guys who come here every day, you know this. Make sure you're sharing the information out, getting out to others in the community so that they can also do this, because we go up together, right? We're leveling up together. We're boosting the community. That's the goal, guys. So take that next step to increase your financial future by doing these small things. And it doesn't stop, even when you get to the 800s, right? It doesn't stop. There's still things that you can do to move to your next. And I'm going to share with you some of those things that you can do, even though it doesn't matter. After you get past 750s, 790s, it really doesn't matter. But I know some people are like me. You really want to have that perfect score, right? At the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal, because you don't get any less interest rates when you're above that level, because they keep everything. They're just more generous, right? With the opportunity to leverage, to lend you money. So you have to take advantage of those opportunities that are available to you guys. All right, guys, I know we have to get out of here early today, but I wanted to make sure that I share that with you. Make sure you join us on Sunday night so we can talk about this. I'm going to be talking about building your credit so you can build wealth. All right. Building your credit so you can build wealth, because the only way that many of us are going to be able to invest is you need that cushion. And it's not your money. And that's the beauty of it. It doesn't have to be your money to start investing, but you need the capital available to you so that you can. All right. We got to do like the others, leverage other people's money. We don't always have to use our own. See, that's some wisdom. All right, guys. I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yeah, I said it, America's #1. All right, Miss Co-host, I'm passing it over to you.
Guys, make sure that you sign up for that class on Sunday, so that you can get all of your life together, because you want to have that information so that you absolutely know what you need to do and where you need to go, because you can't say you want to change and then you don't do the work to change, because you stay in the same
Right.
place. All right, guys. So the fill the stop for today, and I got cut off yesterday, and for the life of me, I could not get back on Facebook Live for like nothing until like 9 o'clock last night. I tried. I was like, really, really, this is what we're gonna do. But I digress. Thank you, Facebook, for allowing me to be on this morning. We greatly appreciate you. All right. So my Phyllis thought from yesterday, which probably meant I just needed to hold over to the day for the right people to be on here today, and it is Fearless Friday, it is Freedom Friday, and it is Faith Friday. So on this Friday, I know I'm always talking about the mindset and what you're thinking and how you're going about it and what you're doing. But here is a very key thing. I want you to think about this on today as you're driving to work or getting ready, taking the kids, is what words are you using to describe yourself to other people and to yourself? What word? Because sometimes when I'm working and you know how you be working, you deep in thought, and you be talking to yourself, you're like, I need to do this. Yeah, let me move this up. Oh God, Jojo, you so stupid. Why didn't you think of that before? And how many times throughout the day are you calling yourself names? So when other people call you names, it's nothing new to you, because you've been saying it to yourself for a very long time. So think about, what words are you using to describe yourself? What words are you accepting for other people to describe you with, because you feel like, well, I say it so they can say it. No,
Right.
boo, that's not how it's worked. And when you start to change your words, and then your mindset starts to change, then you recognize when somebody calls you something that you are not. You're not stupid, because and y'all know the story. He said I was stupid, I was ugly, I was this, I was that. And I believed that until I started to replace it with other
With
words. That's right, Kim. Self-talk it is so serious. You can talk yourself into depression. You can talk yourself into an anxiety attack. You can talk yourself right into crazy. You can talk yourself into continue to be broke. And you can talk yourself into never changing because you think you don't deserve it. Or
right.
because
Right.
other people tell you that, you just assume that it's right because somebody else told you that. Like, That's crazy. And when you stop and think about it, mind control is very serious. And think about the people who speak into your life, the people that you allow to speak into your life. And on a bigger scale, what are you speaking into your children's lives every day? I'm a firm. What I never say to my children is "you're stupid, you're idiot." You don't. I never say words that are degrading to them. Now I may say, "Now don't start acting crazy because your mama name is JoJo, and don't make JoJo come." I will say stuff like that. I will threaten them, but I don't call them names because your child is going to start to believe that. So just imagine if me at 25 in a short span of 2 years, somebody was able to cultivate my mind for me to believe I was fat, ugly, stupid, no good. I was never going to be no good. I was just the dumbest thing walking. And I got that in 2 years. Imagine what you are telling your child who at 1 and 2, you telling them they bad every second of the day. Well, guess what? They want to live up to what mama say. So they keep acting like that. And then when you got a grown boy or a grown girl acting bad, and now you want her to change, she want to know why, because you loved her when she was acting bad, because that's what you kept calling her. And so now she believes it and assumes it's right because that's what mama and daddy say. But now you want her to act a certain way, then you really gonna have hell on your hands. You really gonna have crazy. And I think sometimes we may have crazy children, crazy relationships, because it is the atmosphere that we have set up for it to grow in. What atmosphere are you setting up in your household for you to grow, for your children to grow, for your family to grow? Words are extremely powerful.
Yes.
They are so. Was you gonna say something, Lynn?
No, I'm just over here agreeing wholeheartedly.
Your words are so powerful. So, guys, think about that today. Be mindful of what you're saying to yourself, as well as being mindful of what you're saying to other people. And then what other people are saying to you that you accept all the time. Like, why is that? Yes, ma'am, Miss Valerie. Life and death. And when it becomes that serious, when you take it down to the simple, and it's truly, like she said, life and death belongs on the tongue. Because, God says, he is the great I am. And so whatever we put after it is what he is. And if we are made in his image and his likeness, and I say I am, so I am whatever I put behind it. So if my conversation is always, I am broke, I am crazy, I am fat, or I am giving power to whatever comes after that I am statement. So what if you changed what was behind your I am statement for today? Just period. I'm just saying, what would happen? And you can truly do that, because look at Jesus. And we're not having Bible study, but I'm just saying. You say this is Minister Valerie. She can correct me if I'm wrong. But they talked about Jesus like a darn dog, beat him, put homeboy up on the cross, did all of this. And you know what he did? He still said, I am that I am. He didn't care what nobody else was saying about him. He did not change his words about himself and who he was. So, and if we're made in his image, and, I'm his child, he's my father, he told me to be great like him. Why would I accept anything less? And they treated him far worse than some man telling JoJo she fat and she ugly. I'm just saying. So think about what you put behind that I am today. What are the words that you are saying about yourself that are giving you life? Because I tell you guys all the time, what you're living right now is what you said and what you were thinking last month, last year, last week. That's what your reality is today. So if you want a different reality tomorrow, next year, for I'll try this with your kids. And I'll use my nephew for example. My sister, and I love my sister to death. She has a 7-year-old. 7-year-old. And he can be off the chain sometime, right? He can be a handful. But she threatens him by, don't make me call your Auntie JoJo. I am hundreds of miles away, several hundred miles away. But with a phone call, all the crazy, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, Now, when he comes to spend a week or two with me, we are in, if you pay attention to what you say to your children, so in our house it's very accepting for you to try new things, do new things, learn new things. And when you put them in a different atmosphere, they grow and learn differently. If you put
Yep.
them in an atmosphere of chaos, then they are going to be in chaos. But people will always recognize, including children, when you say something and an action is backed up to it, and what is expected. So if my expectation is this, because I have said it with my words, what you're not fixing to do, little boy, is this right here. It, hundreds of miles away, I can say that and it stands. So just imagine if you took this weekend, let's just do 2 days and speak positively over your children, over your situation, and see what the outcome will be. First of all, your kids gonna look at you crazy like, is you my mama? Is you my daddy? First of all, like, why are you talking to me like that? But then you're gonna see they will be more calm, more relaxed, because sometimes the most stressful place for our children and our family to be is within our presence. And that's a sad thing to think about. So think about that today. When you think about the words that you're saying, the words that you're speaking over yourself, the words that you're speaking over your children and other people, and then the words that you're accepting from other people. Think about that today on this Fateful Friday, Fearless Friday, Freedom Friday. Think about that, y'all, because it is serious. I'm telling you. And then if you want to see some change, you keep saying you want to see something different. But guess what? It ain't ever going to be different till you do different. It ain't ever. Thank you, Seed Time Harvard. Thank you, Miss Valerie, Pastor Valerie, Minister Valerie. Amen. I'm just saying, you can say you won't change. You can say you won't change. I want an apple. I want an apple tree. I want this. But until you go plant that thing to make it so, won't is, as my daddy used to say, you old enough for your wants to hurt you. And some of us are allowing our wants to hurt us because we refuse to do the work of change. Hey to the man.
Yes, A to the man.
I'm just saying. All right, guys. I know this is a short show this morning because I'm being about my business. I'm gonna go to the doctor today. So I got a doctor's appointment. But guys, please make sure you share the video. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, make sure that you go to our YouTube channel, and you can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows. They are by topic. And then it's important that you share this video, because now that you know, you're charged with sharing it with somebody else. And don't be an information hoarder. Like, share this information. Thank you, Charlene. That's A to the men. Amen. So make sure that you share it. And then it helps Lynn and I reach more people when you share the video and leave your comments. It helps us to reach more people, because it's truly, I believe if we change one person in a family, they can change their household, their community, and we can change the world. That's my belief. That's my dream. And I know it can happen, because guess what? You don't have to live in crazy. And there is life past crazy in your life and your finances. Then you want to tell them about your class one more time?
Sure, guys. Don't forget, we're going to get it all the way right. You see JoJo, she's going to take care of her health today. Make sure you take care of yours too. But my class is going to help you get that financial well-being, that financial health, if you will. Come on over, get your credit together so you do have money to invest. I am sick and tired of hearing, Lynn, well, I can't invest right now because I got to get my other money situation right. So what you doing about it, right? I understand things happen, situations occur, right? That you have to deal with. So how do you deal with it, right? If you don't know how to deal with it, then surround yourself with people who will